So hi everyone on Zoom. I'm not used to not being able to see y'all in front of me. So I'm just looking behind me to see the Zoom people. Thanks for and everyone in person, obviously. So thanks for coming to the Dharma Talk. I know it's the day after 4th of July, so it's kind of a interesting time probably for everyone. Maybe not the easiest time to join for a Dharma Talk. So I appreciate everyone for making the effort to come. Um, because it is so close to holiday, I wanted to have this Dharma talk just be very practice focused. I thought maybe that would be a nice way to decompress from the holiday, and then also just like we're in the heat, really in the deep throes of the summer at this point, and we're not experiencing a heat wave here, but a lot of places are, and maybe you're really feeling the summer kind of heaviness and everything, and or maybe just like a lot of traveling or a lot of doing. So I think this is a really nice time to just take time just for practice. So there's not going to be a lot of talking in this Dharma talk. It's really going to be a practice focused Dharma talk. So I hope everyone is feeling ready to practice. So I'll just introduce myself quickly. So my name's Emily. I've been on staff here for about 6 years at the Nyingma Institute. I also teach some meditation classes, so beginning meditation. I do the Sunday Kum Nye or rotate with other teachers to do the Sunday Kum Nye, and some other things, give Dharma talks. So I'm excited to be here again giving another Dharma talk. And I'll kind of introduce what we'll be doing today. So my intention with these practices is really to lead us into a space of openness, maybe like a more spacious kind of experience, maybe a feeling of even vastness. Um, and we're going to do that by starting with a Kum Nye practice. So if anyone's not familiar with Kum Nye, it's a type of Tibetan yoga. And basically we use Kum Nye to move the body in ways where we can bring our minds from the conceptual mind into the body, and then use that as a vehicle for relaxation. And it can be a really helpful support for our meditation practice. It can also just be a practice all on its own, but we're going to use it as a support today for the other practices. So we're going to start with a Kum Nye practice. Then we're going to move into a breath practice. So we'll be working with the breath. And then after that, we're going to end with a meditation practice. So it's going to be a lot of practice. So yeah, I hope we're all like feeling ready for that. And I want to talk a little bit before we get started. I want to talk about why I titled this Dharma talk "Coming Home to Ourselves." So I titled it that because I really, through my own personal experience with meditation over the years, it's really become evident to me that meditation is not something that we are seeking outside of ourselves. It's not something that we're creating or constructing. But meditation is really a process of relaxing deeply enough to where we're contacting our natural state of mind. It's really like our natural state. So the state that it's always present. So it's not that well, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. It's always present, but oftentimes it's obscured by the phenomena in mind. So that could be our self-image, it can be thoughts, it can be feelings, emotions, mental patterns. There's a lot in our experience that covers and obscures the natural state, and that's really what meditation is learning how to relax the phenomena of mind enough to where that natural state is accessible for us. And that's really what our true self is. So I think something that we can get caught in thinking is that, like, oh, who I am is this. I am these thoughts. I am these emotions. I am this self-image. And I want to get to this more relaxed state. But really, I really am that relaxed state, that natural state. And I'm just under the illusion that I am this self-image, and I've been kind of living in a dream, almost a dream that that I am this person, in the sense of believing what comes into mind. I mean, obviously we have physical bodies, we are people, but believing wholeheartedly that, like, this is who I am. These thoughts are, that's really me thinking these thoughts. So coming home to ourselves. So when we meditate, the idea is that we're just coming back home. And I think, especially if you are someone who has really, wondered, like, what is home, or what is that sense of home? Is it a place? Is it my family? Is it a feeling? Or, home can mean a lot of different things to different people. But I think for me, it's really that sense of home, is really that natural state. Like, that's what feels like home to me. And so when we contact that, there's this feeling of relief, of safety, of comfort on a deeper level than just the mundane comfort of, like, I feel comfortable, my couch is comfy, but a comfort of just feeling that everything is okay exactly as it is. There's nothing that needs to change. There's nothing that needs to be fixed, and everything is perfect as exactly as it is. And that is a very, very deep state of comfort and safety that I think we're all fundamentally looking for. Maybe we don't always know at all times it's what we're looking for, but I think deep down, fundamentally, that is what we're looking for. So, um, so that's just kind of my preface for this practice, because these practices are really going to be working with relaxing body and mind, moving into um, moving into a state where we are not so attached and identified with our experience. And so that'll be our intention for the class as we move into the practices. So we can all take a moment now to set an intention for yourself silently. It can just be something as simple as just to be open to the practices, to just allow, or it can be something more personal to you. But just take a moment and feel an intention arise in your heart. And just let that intention radiate outwards through you and from you. Allowing it to fill the space around you, and trusting that it will continue to inform your practice. So we're going to start with the Kum Nye practice. So everyone can come to their feet. Yeah, you're fine right there. Okay. So we're going to be doing the Kum Nye practice flying. So if you're familiar with this one, you'll know kind of what to expect. But you can also let go of that, let go of any expectations or any ideas. Let it be fresh. So come standing with your feet a comfortable distance apart, just feeling that your body is well balanced. Arms are resting by the sides. Just notice how your body feels first. No judgment. There's no way that your body should be feeling right now. It just is feeling however it's feeling. And slowly start to lift the arms away from the sides. So they're going to slowly start to move up. But let this be very slow, intentional, feeling all the micro movements as your arms continue to move. Continuing to breathe gently, letting the belly be relaxed, letting the energy circulate. Usually the arms are going to come all the way overhead, but there's no hurry. And eventually the arms will rest overhead. The backs of the palms or the backs of the hands are facing each other but not touching. Just take a moment, take a deep breath here, stretch up a little bit, exhale. This flow of energy from your feet all the way to your fingers. Slowly start to bring the arms back down. So once again, there's no hurry. Allowing yourself to be in the movement. So just meaning that we're bringing mind into the body. So not thinking thoughts or bringing our attention to our thoughts, but bringing our attention to the movement. Keeping the belly relaxed. Arms come slowly back down. Letting them rest by the sides. Just standing and sensing for a moment. Sensing the feelings in the body, whatever they are. Doesn't matter if they're positive or negative or neutral. We're going to do that movement a second time. So starting to lift the arms away from the sides. Slowly bringing them up. Bringing the mind into the body, into the movement. This may feel slightly different the second time. Just notice what you feel, the sensations in the body. They may start to become strong, they may start to accumulate. Eventually, the arms come all the way overhead again, backs of the hands facing each other. Maybe stretching up slightly. Slowly starting to reverse the movement. You can start to sense the feeling of space as your arms move through it, like moving through water. Space has a texture, has a feeling to it. Slowly letting the arms rest by the sides again. Just standing and sensing the feelings in the body, which now may be a bit stronger than the first time. Just resting the mind on those feelings. We're going to do the movement one more time. So slowly bringing the arms up. This time, just go at your own pace. Just letting your breath and the sensations in your body lead you. Reversing the movement when you feel ready. Staying with the feelings. Eventually, arms come back down to the sides. Body comes back to stillness. Resting your attention on the sensations in the body, even feeling sensations outside the body. Doesn't matter inside or outside. Just rest your awareness on something you can feel. Slowly come back to our seat. So coming into the 7 gestures, if anyone's not familiar, I'll just go through the 7 gestures quickly. So first, you're sitting either on a chair or on a cushion. So if you're on a cushion, then your seat is elevated on the cushion, your legs are crossed in front of you, creating a tripod base. If you're in a chair, then your feet are flat on the floor. The spine is elongated, so we're not bending over, but keeping the spine elongated and as straight as is comfortable. And if you're in a chair, then your spine is elongated and just not leaning against the back of the chair. Hands are resting on the knees or close to the knees. The chin is slightly tucked in, so just a very slight movement just so you can feel the back of the neck align with the spine. Eyes are half open, gazing downward with a kind of a compassionate gaze, so like bodhisattva eyes. So like you're looking at something that you love, or you're looking at a very innocent baby. Mouth is slightly parted with the breath in and out through both nose and mouth. If that's confusing to you, you can just let that go for now. But it should just be something that can kind of start to happen naturally, so you don't have to force the breath through both nose and mouth. And then the tip of the tongue is lightly resting on the upper palate ridge, so right behind the top front teeth, just lightly resting there. Finding this gesture of balance, stability, feeling grounded in your body. I'm going to start to work with the breath a little bit. So coming back to that natural breath, breath through both nose and mouth. So if you can allow the breath to flow through both nose and mouth, please do so. But if that's not possible for you, that's okay. Just allow the breath to settle into a calm and natural rhythm. It's most important. Just letting the breath be unself-conscious, natural. As the breath settles into natural rhythm, start to just bring your awareness to the feeling of the breath. So the feeling of the breath as it moves in and out. There's there's a feeling that can accompany the breath when we become very relaxed and calm. See if you can notice that. It's not quite the feeling of the respiration, but a more subtle feeling. Continue to follow that feeling in and out. You know, let your awareness be like a light touch. So it doesn't have to be strong or forced. Just a light touch, following the feeling of the inhale and the exhale. Now allow the feeling that we've contacted to follow the breath out beyond the body about 12 inches. So don't have to be super technical about this, but you can just imagine that this feeling as you exhale is moving out of the body. And then as you inhale and bring the breath and the feeling back in, the feeling lands at the heart. So on the inhale, touches the heart. Exhale, moving out of the body. Inhale, bringing the feeling back in, touching the heart. So continue to experiment with this. It takes a little while to settle into this practice, so just be patient with yourself. Remember that we're not just following the breath itself, we're following this feeling of the breath. Make sure that this feeling is what's touching the heart, moving outside the body, into the heart. Your breath might start to become very slow and very gentle. If your mind gets distracted, just bring it back to the practice. Just part of the practice is that reminding and bringing back. Just let that practice go. The visualizing of the breath go. Just allow the breath to return to a natural rhythm. Self-conscious, unforced. Now let the body and the mind both relax deeply. Allow yourself to find ease, a deep sense of ease. Not trying to fix anything, not trying to do anything, not judging your experience or your thoughts. Just let everything flow as normal, just as it wants to. Completely relaxed, completely at ease. As you rest in this relaxed state, letting experience flow naturally, imagine that your mind is an empty house. It's an empty house with open doors and open windows. Breezes drift in and out. Some are cool, some are warm. Thoughts come and go like visitors. Some are quiet and calm. Some are more noisy and demanding. Whatever drifts through can be just like this empty house, open, spacious, accommodating, allowing the flow of experience to arise and fall without comment. Attaching to or fixating on anything that flows in, just being open, accommodating, just like an empty house. Thoughts may try to grab your attention, try to pull you into their story. You can just allow the thought, not engage, not react to it, not comment on it. Maybe even the sense of self or the self image. Maybe that can come and go as well. See what happens when you're able to relax and be fully accommodating to all of experience. There's no running from anything, there's no escaping anything, no pushing anything away. Just be whatever arises. That's the end of the practice. I wanted to leave a few minutes at the end just to see if anyone wanted to comment on what they noticed from the practice or anything they would like to share about their experience with any of the practices or with all of them. So I'll just open it up kind of as an open discussion for whoever wants to say something. Yes.
So I have a question. Most gatherings, when we are going to be starting with some classes with it, it's wonderful practice, but I have extreme limitation in my right shoulder. And it always seems that why is the one that really suggests for the very first one.
Yeah.
And there are so many practices. I just wondered if there was, what the reasoning was. Are there others that sometimes do start practices?
Yeah, so I think what I'm hearing you ask is why do instructors choose flying so often?
Yes.
So that's a really good question, actually. And I don't think that there's just one answer to it, but I'll give my answer, which is that flying, well, a couple reasons. So this movement of the arms is is a movement that can guarantee to produce like quite a bit of sensation, sometimes uncomfortably so. Um, and that's the kind of the point of Kum Nye, and definitely not including injury or limitation, because in that sense you should be very careful with exercises. But a lot of, if there's no limitation, then with Kum Nye it's kind of the the idea to go past some of the more intense feeling and to kind of just be with the sensation as it is. And flying is one of those practices that can kind of, bring us into that intensity, and then push us past, the intensity or the resistance with the intensity. Another reason is that the arms are directly connected to the heart center. So flying is one of those practices that can stimulate the heart as well. And the heart is sort of the center point of all of our energy centers. So if the heart is balanced, then it can kind of help balance the rest of the centers. So it's a direct vehicle to the heart as well. And I think also another reason I would give is I think in general, um, not including arm limitations, but I think in general it's an accessible practice for most people. So some of the practices, like, we do the ones where we bend over, it's like there's people who can't, bend over comfortably or maybe have lower back issues. But of course, there's also plenty of people who have shoulder or arm limitations. So it's not necessarily accessible for everyone, but I think for a lot of instructors, it can feel like, okay, well, this is one that I think most, even if someone has to do it in a chair, they can still do it. Um, and I'll also say that I think that there are plenty other practices that could be used in its place. Because ultimately, it's not so much about, I mean, you can get really technical with Kum Nye, like, well, doing flying stimulates the heart center, and then this, and then we circulate the energy. It's like you can go very technical with it, but you can also just go very simple in that we're just trying to stimulate feeling, and that can be stimulated anywhere. We can do even just bicycling our shoulders. That's one that I do a lot just by myself, is, that stimulates a lot of feeling, and it's a very simple one. There's also ones where we go down into a squat and we use our lower body as opposed to our upper body, and that also stimulates a lot of feeling, particularly in the belly center, the navel center. So if like you're more of a leg person, like you feel more comfortable with legs, but you want to feel a lot of sensation, you could do stimulating the lower body, or I think it's called energizing the lower body, going into a squat. Um, But yeah, I think it really there's lots of exercises I think could go in its place for sure. But yeah, I guess for me, I chose it because I thought it would be one that would help with the relaxation portion because of the strong sensation it stimulates.
They're all good reasons. I'm doing fine with my left arm, that I can also modify in some other ways so that I can move through that flying and not feel like, oh, I'm failing to do this the right way.
And that's the thing is like I said, you can get really technical with Kum Nye, but it can also just be, like I will just do as far as I can go and I will focus on the sensation just from that movement. And that is still Kum Nye. It's still doing the exercise correctly. And even some instructors recommend imagining yourself, visualizing yourself doing the exercise. If you don't want to do it at all, you can visualize it and you will still feel sensation. Like your body will still like just in the same way as like you think of a memory and it elicits some emotion or sensation, your body will still like elicit that sensation. So yeah, so you could practice with that, I guess, if next time you
Preparing for the next 20 years.
right. Everybody's starting with flying. Um, okay, are there any other comments about the practice or anything anyone would like to share?
I did think it was interesting doing the flying exercise. The third time we did it, my like arm, like both of my arms up to like my shoulders, it was like a weird like humming or like a buzzing. And I've done that. I've like felt that a little bit through like other like Kum Nye practices that I've done here. But I always think it's such a surreal kind of feeling when you actually like try to like settle down into it. It's very strange to me. Still not quite used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kum Nye can definitely and I felt that on the third one too, of like I was like, ooh, strong sensation.
Yeah.
But Kum Nye can definitely yeah, Kum Nye is really opening up our sense of feeling and what feels normal to us or feels familiar and opening up like the layers and pulling back the layers into like, oh, that's different. Like I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
And the more we do that and we go into the layers, the more we can contact more of like I guess what they call like a universal feeling or like a universal energy that is that then we can use. We can like use to like rejuvenate, refresh our bodies and everything. So I would say, just keep going with that. And that it's probably a sign that something is percolating in there. Um, okay, well, we're pretty much at the end. So let's go ahead and dedicate the merit together. So we're just going to chant Omahum 3 times. And we're going to set the intention to give away all of the positive energy that we've accumulated from today's practice, giving it away to all sentient beings or to people who, in particular, need this positive energy right now. everyone for coming to the Dharma talk, everyone in person, everyone on Zoom. And I appreciate everyone coming despite it being a holiday weekend. And yeah, hope to see everyone at future Dharma talks.